By far, the first thing I notice when I look at any skier is their body position. Yeah, I can feel you almost yawning. Body position, boring, let's move on to something else. But it is by far the most important thing. It's going to affect everything. And you know, when it comes to skiing, it's about putting pressure on the skis, taking pressure off, being able to rotate, edge, flatten, and basically be in a mobile, dynamic position. So if your body position is compromised, everything you're trying to achieve will be as well. It's really a combination of the ankles, the knees, and at the waist or the hips. So those three joints are really working in unison. If you're adjusting how much flex you've got on one, the other two have got to move as well to stay in balance. A lot of skiers end up isolating one of those joints, and any movement they make, they're going to be off their feet. And skiing is a dynamic moving sport. So don't think of it as a position that you get into and then hold. It's constantly changing. But the better that basic position is that you're always returning to, the easier you're going to find everything.
How much movement I'm making depends on many things. Snow conditions, equipment I'm using, what I want the turn to achieve. But even when the movement is limited, I'm never completely stationary in a held, dead position. There's always something going on.
One of the big misconceptions is that a good skier is trying to lean forward and push heavily on the front of their boots. If I'm really far forward, I'm as out of balance as in fact if I was really far back. So it's about being centered. For sure, sometimes I might be slightly further forward, sometimes I might be on purpose slightly further back, but you're always trying to come back to a balanced, centered, athletic position. From here, I can go this way, get taller, get lower, and really affect how I'm moving over the skis.
A huge amount of skiers lean too far back. I believe this is where the lean forward misconception was born.
At the start of the turn, I'll definitely be slightly further forward. As I transition into the next, I'll be more neutral. It's a very subtle forward and back feeling, but I'm always able to get centered.
And it's a real misconception that great skiers are always perfectly in balance. Think of it a bit like this. If I call my perfect position 10 out of 10 and I start to slightly lose my balance, I might come down to say 8. And it's a lot easier to come back to my 10 out of 10 position from 8 and get back into perfect balance. Now, if your general position that you're used to skiing in is, let's say, 6 out of 10, and I lose my balance in the same way, I might go down to 4, 3, and it's a much, much bigger fight to get back into balance from that lower number. So the better your starting point, the better your basic position is, the easier everything's going to be. You can never work enough on your basic position, so don't take it for granted. Keep looking at it and make sure you're in the optimum position.